Hello, I'm Connor Anderson with KUOI 89.3 FM, Moscow, Idaho, and I am here with
Kid Bloom.
So, I hear that you have been kind of on a tour for the Inner Light Phase 1.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to talk about that, kind of what that's all about, the album and everything?
Yeah, it's fun because I had the idea of kind of trying something a little different, which we've done in the past, but basically what it is putting out 5 songs off Inner Light 1, and then we thought it'd be fun to play the rest of Inner Light out on the road as like essentially a precursor to the rest of the album, so that, you know, those who have had heard it or seen videos of it or whatever would then be able to hear it for the first time for real on recording later. But yeah, after the tour, hopefully the rest of it is gonna drop.
That's a very cool idea, to play songs that aren't yet released. Like,
Yeah.
Artists always do that whenever they say that on stage. Everybody in the crowd loses it 'cause it's just something that you aren't able to hear again
100%.
in that exact same way.
And that is
It's just
exactly
so
why I
nice.
love it so much.
Yeah.
Because when I was young, I say this often too, when I was younger, my introduction to music and concert going obviously was like my parents and my dad, and he would like take me to shows and I wouldn't know shit. I wouldn't know any of the bands, I wouldn't know any of the songs, but it was this like, you couldn't take my eyes off of it or my ears. You know?
It's just the atmosphere of it, like, especially being down here at Treefort, like, there's artists I've never heard of, but just going to those shows and sitting in and watching them,
the best.
it's a completely different atmosphere. It just gets you so intrigued. Like, now some of my favorite bands I saw at Treefort last year. Like,
Which, by the way, you can't even say that much anymore, right? Because everyone's saying like, oh, you came up on my Spotify discovery,
Yeah.
or, you know, blah, 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 blah. The artists that I listen to still to this day and kind of reminisce about when I heard of them, or heard them the first time, it's always friends telling you about it, and it's always going to a show.
yeah.
And being like, damn, what was that? Who was that?
Yeah. And sometimes I've had bands where I'll go to their show and I'm like, oh, I really want to listen to more. And then I never caught their name. So it's just like you only had that single experience
100%.
of being there, but it never leaves you. That experience is the best thing ever.
And live and recorded music are 2 completely separate things.
Yeah.
Like, could not be more.
I mean,
Separate.
stage presence is such a huge part of that. You could have somebody who on like recorded music just sounds so very rigid, and then they get up on stage completely different. Like,
100%.
like,
100%, I agree.
do you feel that you're that way at all?
Trying to say this in the most humble way possible. I enjoy playing the songs live so much more than listening to them, if that makes sense. Like, I think we've discovered this too, or at least just me personally on this tour. It is different every single time, and that is the liberty that you are allowed to take, and just, you know, really, really express yourself through the medium of what this song is. So it doesn't have to sound the same as the recording every time, right? You could just use it as
Just a tiny little change.
right, or like even just like it's the shell. The recording of the song, the written song, is the shell of the idea that you're now bringing to life again in a different way. Essentially, whatever. I'm rambling. But,
That's all good.
You're good.
That's the best part. So, obviously, your music is always going to be your music, but no matter who the artist is, they always draw inspiration. So, do you have any inspirations on your music?
Yeah, absolutely. Lately, it's been a lot more going back to the things that I just love a lot, which is like music from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, a little bit of 90s in there too. As far as artists nowadays that really just get me going, for sure, like Dijon, like Tame Impala, McGee is fantastic. Yeah, I'd say those 3 right now.
Obviously, you talked about like going to concerts and everything with your parents. Are there any specific artists that you can remember off the top of your head that instantly made you think, I want to be a musician, I want to go out, I want to do this exact thing?
This is hilarious. AC/DC. My dad took me to an AC/DC concert, and I was just like mind blown. Like, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Like, just literally, just like 12 years old, like getting my face melted off. I was just like, this is insane. Yeah.
For me, it was ZZ Top. My dad took me to the ZZ Top concert.
Same thing.
Yeah, just
Same thing.
You're there. You're surrounded by people like 30 years older than you, but watching that, just that experience makes you want to go out. You want to do what they do and try and be like, not exactly like them, but be your own version of them.
100%. That's. I mean, nothing from nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all. It's almost like a collective consciousness in a weird way, music, because it needs inspiration in other songs to make something else, to evolve.
You can't just have it come out of nothing. There's always some sort
Trust
of...
me, I wish I could, but it just does not work that way.
Yeah. So apart from other musicians, are there any inspirations or experiences that you pull from specifically in your music?
I think with me, somehow like either it's like romanticism or the lack thereof, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
just, I don't know, it sounds so f***ing cheesy, but
I get it.
it writes good songs, man.
It does.
Yeah, like, you know, like the, how do I put this? The nerve that is attached to that side of human emotion, like the longing for someone else, the loving someone else, whatever. It is I love that place to write from. It's a lot of introspectiveness in that too, you know what I mean? But it is, I mean, the Beatles basically only wrote it about that song. But you know what I mean? Girls. Writing songs about girls.
Yeah. So you're kind of towards the end of this, I guess, leg of your tour. What's been your favorite part of it? Just like the favorite aspect. It could be music. It could honestly just be traveling, like just anything.
I think the playing side of it, the group and I have, what I was just telling you, the backside of Interlay, we're just having such a blast playing this new stuff. And I think honestly that is a highlight for me. And hanging out with Bam Margera on this tour. We met him and that was silly. But yeah, dude, as far as that's concerned, you know, we've been having a good time outside of the shows, but the shows have been special.
So have you ever been to Treefort before, or is this your
That was the first time, yeah.
Wow. What are your thoughts about it so far?
Love it. It's fantastic. I was just saying, for us, it's not a culture shock, but a change of pace, because we've been just like in these venues that are really dark, just like outside for a couple seconds, you know what I mean? And here it's just all outside and sunny and gorgeous, and yeah. We haven't been in our wife beaters in about 2 weeks, so we're taking every chance we can get.
No, I feel that. Treefort has grown so much in the past years. It used to be like 3 stages, that was it.
How many is it now?
I want to say close to 20.
That many?
Like, yeah, because it branches all the way from main stage, which is in Julia Davis Park, about a mile that way, to
Whoa.
the Greyhound bus station, another mile that way.
It's like a 2-mile festival.
Yeah, it used to literally be like a block, just right there where that construction is. Just that was Treefort.
Classic that when we play that block, it got bigger, huh?
Yeah,
I'm just
it's definitely grown a lot, but glad you're enjoying it for sure.
No, it's fantastic as far as festivals are concerned too. Like
Definitely better than last year.
festivals rock. So any type of festival, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything you want to plug? Obviously, Interlight Part 2.
That's what I want to plug. Interlight Part 2. Obviously, thank you to, it's Idaho.
Yes, Idaho.
What's the name of the station?
KUOI Moscow.
It's KUOI.
Yes.
Thank you to KUOI. Thank you for listening, and it's an honor to be on here with you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.